Hatsune Miku has finally dropped in P5X and has a ton in her arsenal, immediately placing her among the best navigators inside the game, but as all units, you have to build them correctly to get the most out of them. In today's video, you'll not only understand Hatsune Miku as a unit, but also get the best results with her as you learn more. My name's Bladecifer, and we're going to go ahead and get straight into the video and not waste any of you guys' time. Diving straight into Miku's actual kit here, she's a special navigator that allows your entire team to gain some insane buffs, but also takes multiple action turns benefiting multiple DPSs of any typing. But by going ahead and using the best thing here, it's all going to get started with the best weapon. Her weapon, which is called Light Up Your World, is without a doubt the best that you want for her. This is mainly due to the party crit damage you'll end up gaining, and you can also get some lovely skill amplification as well. But this is only going to be when you're using the virtual concert skill, which is going to stem off of her skill 3 based on the weapon's description. The 5-star itself increases your attack percentage by 30%, but alongside of this, whenever the user gains a track, she'll increase the party's crit damage by 18.1% for 3 turns. This also can stack up to 3 times, making out for some huge crit damage output. Whenever her virtual concert is active, she also increases the user's skill amplification by 10%, which is immensely helpful. Keep track of that, by the way, it will help. But don't worry, if you're not wanting to go for the 5-star weapon, there are other options such as her 4-star weapon. The 4-star weapon, it's called World Famous. This weapon also works, but instead of you getting the fancy crit damage that you're wanting, you're going to be getting something basic, and that's just going to be plain out attack percent. Unlike other 4-star weapons that actually have a little bit of a trick to them, this one is just giving you plain Jane attack percent all around the board. You just get 24% attack percent, and then by going ahead and using a track and having it play, you get an extra 43%. It's simplistic, but it does work good enough for a lot of you guys, seeing that this character does need a ton of attack. Much like Futaba and her higher awareness amounts here, attack starts to be a huge thing for Miku, so you do want to make sure you're able to hit those attack stats, which the 4-star weapon does do. For the gear set, Miku works just like the other Navis inside the game. They all pretty much are using the same gear set, with the labor gear set being their main one, seeing this one is dedicated to Navis. Now Miku, at first, I do apologize for some of the people in the stream, I was using the Trust and Power set, which was our original thought when I was talking to a few others who also do a lot of test building. Turns out that this character can actually cover up for what she's missing with her skill 3, just based on the skill amplification that she ends up having. So the set effect that you guys are going to want to use is going to be the Labor and Hope set. The Labor and Hope set is going to not only allow you to get those basic stats and the extra HP for all of your other characters, but it is also going to let you go ahead and buff all your allies, or at least whenever you get a buffed ally skill here, you're increasing your pierce rate to your allies for that turn. Originally, we thought this was going to be a huge drop off, hence the reason why we said not to use it, but after doing further testing today, especially a lot more this morning, it turns out that the set actually works still pretty decent. So I'm sorry for a lot of you guys having to scare on stream. If you do want a secondary card set though, don't worry. You can also still use the Labor and Integrity set, which is still just as good, seeing that the Labor and Integrity set here will also allow you to go ahead and get the base stats that you do need and get additional 2% for each ally, but they do have to be the same element. So it's more or less not really a bad situation that you put yourself in there. Both of those card sets are especially worth it, or exceptionally good for Miku herself. It just was very confusing. I do believe the skill amplification was the main thing that was getting a lot of us kind of thrown off track. So it's good to have that extra testing in there to really figure out what card set you really should be using. But once again, I do apologize to anyone who built the wrong one on stream. Though for main stats, if you were looking to build that correctly here, I would advise you guys to build an attack percent moon in order to go ahead and get the most damage and attack overall for your attack stat, making sure you're hitting your attack caps. Then go for crit rate star or crit damage. In crit rate, I would recommend for A0's crit damage if you're A1 and above, mainly to help out your DPSs when you're transferring over stats, which is very essential for Hatsune. And then you would only go for an attack percent sky. This will further help out your damage potential overall and help you hit your attack percent caps. Once again, because this character, it takes a lot to do so. Now, these are the main stats that you're going to be setting up for to deal just a bunch of damage with your DPSs itself here, seeing they are your related attacker. As for substats though, I'd advise you guys to prioritize wherever you're lacking. This is usually going to be extra attack percent if you do need it. On the off chance that you don't need attack percent, you could replace it with damage bonus or something like that, but definitely look for crit damage, crit rate, leading into pierce rate first. If you do have more than enough attack percent, go ahead and replace that attack percent with damage bonus. But now we went over all of her gear set and how that actually does work, let's go ahead and check out the awarenesses. To continue with Hatsune Miku's low investment awarenesses, she is honestly a good character to be used at A0. I don't think anything else is really needed for this character. As long as you're able to get A0 and even the 4-star, you're looking pretty darn good. But if you're able to get A0 R0, you're doing absolutely fine. This is pretty much the only thing that she follows, as all characters usually do, but she does have a pretty cracked out A1 and A2, which are the furthest I'd end up recommending. The A1 Virtual Heart, Miku, she is going to be able to increase your skill amplification by 15% alongside of what she has now. She's also able to then clear all allies highlight cooldown, as well as increase the highlight and 3G amplification by 10%. This is only occurring when Virtual Life is active, which is usually part of her skill 3, but it also acts as an extra bonus with 5% extra highlight energy being recovered every ally's turn. So you're not only just going ahead and getting the lovely clear of a highlight itself and getting the actual damage amps of your 3G or your skill amplification, but you're also getting more energy recovered and returned back to you as long as your allies are going ahead and using their moves. This is quite insane, but the A2 pretty much makes this look like just child's play at the end of the day. The A2, named a lone island and a sea of glow sticks, allows Miku to trigger all her effects from S1 and S2 whenever you're under the virtual live effect. This then boosts their total damage amplification as well by a certain amount, which is also insanely busted. If we go ahead and end up looking at what she can really do for this said A2, it makes her sound insanely broken itself. The percentage it goes up to is going to be a max of 8%. Originally, we did not have the percent markers, but now that we see everything, that's a pretty high jump when it comes down to the actual damage amplification that you can have. So 8% isn't that bad. But overall, that is as high as I would recommend if you really want to invest a little bit deeper. Anyone who's going over A2, or heck, if you're already going for A2, you probably know what you're doing, so I don't need to recommend any higher. But now we went over all the awarenesses here, the ones that at least mattered, let's go over her teams. Her teams is one of the few things that honestly is very shocking. Many people were expecting that she was going to absolutely replace Anj, but it honestly doesn't seem like she's going to be doing that all too much. Miku has plenty of teams that she's able to build, DPS wise at least, seeing that she works with a little bit of everyone. Two-turners seem like they're the best thing for this character, but there are some 3-turners that can also work, which I will be showing you a little bit of both of these. Now keep in mind, these are characters that I'm pretty sure are hecka good to really keep at your side, so if you are a 2-turn DPS lover, they're going to be characters that you really want to have. These characters can be anyone from the major recommended that I would say here being Barry, as well as the closer Radiance character in the future. Both of these characters are insanely worth it in the future, so getting them could be insanely good for you guys who love your 2-turn DPSs. As for some others that you can get currently, you're able to go ahead and get Makoto Yuki and even Yusuke, who are very helpful as characters. As for some other characters that you can also end up using, Pinky and Aegis are eventually coming out in the future, and they'll probably be the characters that you really want to go for. There are some honorable mentions such as like On, as well as Haru and S Puppet. Those 3 could very well help you out a decent bit. more or less Haru and S Puppet, but we're not going to really talk about them two guys too much because those aren't really going to be your bread and butter. It's really going to be everyone else that I mentioned beforehand. Now, as for the little teams that you're going to end up using, this is where things can get a wee bit complicated. The character herself really just relies on whoever she wants to rely on with the 2-turn method here. As for the buffers, this is where you have your just only characters that will stay in here. The DPS can always change around, but your buffers are always going to be Cord and at least our Justine and Caroline. If you're not using Justine and Caroline, obviously you could use Asmarian, or you could even use the new Joker, being Joker Starlight. All of those characters are exceptionally good with everything that you really want to do, and keep in mind, Miku is a Navi at the end of the day. She works with both 2 turns and 3 turns, so you can technically work her out with anyone who you want to work her out with as long as you plan ahead of time. But this is all just normal things that we know with Navis themselves. Miku, as we've went through this, has been an absolute blast. We had some crazy multis on the stream, and hopefully when you guys see this, which hopefully comes out around 9:30, you'll enjoy the quality of the information that you're consuming. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and end out the video. Thank you guys for watching the video. And before we actually do end out as well, I'd love to thank a lot of my members as well who's been helping out the channel a ton. These are people that have been here every day, pretty much just donating to the streams, whether it's 7DS, whether it's B5X. Every last one of you guys have been helping us out immensely when it comes down to making a ton of good content and pretty much keeping us motivated, or me motivated a lot for really putting out a ton of content. So if you see your name up here, you're a freaking amazing person here, and you are just a very special person to my heart. Some people I'm going to immediately call on out on this screen here, going from top to bottom, is definitely going to be Shadow King, and then my other user, Origin Morgana. Those two have been going above and beyond, especially inside the streams, and I can't thank them more than enough when they're actually here helping out everything that we do on the daily basis. But with that out of the way, thank you guys for watching the video. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay sharp, and peace on out.